Hey guys, this is SkyFirst95 here, and I'll be reviewing a cheaper version of a GoPro. Essentially, this is the SOOCOO S100Pro 2, a 4K action camera, but not only is it cheaper at $100, but it's also bundled with a lot of more accessories right out of the box. If you want a whole detailed overview of all the accessories that it comes with, you can check out my unboxing video. The link will be in the description and also at the end of this video. So this video is going to be a deep dive into the features, what's great about it, what's not so great, and ultimately answer the question whether it can replace a GoPro. Now let's start out with the exterior. It has roughly the same dimensions as a GoPro Hero, and the connections are exactly the same, so if you wanted to buy GoPro accessories for it, you totally can. I have already done a review video of the Black Pro accessories where I had some chest straps, some head straps that you can buy separately for around $20. It was a pretty good deal. The video for that will be also at the end of this video. And in also talking more about the exterior of this device, you have a 170-degree wide-angle lens, and it can shoot up to 4K resolution at 30 frames per second. It also has 4 tactile buttons for power, navigation, as well as a 2-inch LCD touchscreen. On the bottom, it has a slot for the battery, and on the side, it has ports for charging via micro USB, and also a mini HDMI port, and a micro SD card that is compatible up to 128 gigs. Missing, however, is a clear recording indicator either on the front or the top of the camera, so you can tell when it's actually recording if you weren't straight looking at the back of the screen. Beyond the fact that it has a wide-angle lens and it has quite a range of video capabilities as well as an 8-megapixel camera for single shooting photos, it also has built-in Wi-Fi, which you could theoretically use to transfer photos and videos to the phone via the app. However, the app is really bare bones, and when you're trying to import the footage or any photos that you've taken, you can only see the name of the footage and not actually what it is. So I recommend just importing the footage using a micro SD card and an adapter straight to your computer. The adapter that I'm using, I made a full review video on it as usual. The link will be again at the end of this video, and I'll also put the Amazon link to where you can purchase it in the description down below. So while the app is kind of lackluster, the software is a little bit better. So when you first turn on the camera, which you do so by pressing the button on the front, you get the recording screen. So this is where you will record your videos, and as you can see, it has a lot of icons on here, but basically all you need to really focus on is the timestamp, the kind of video quality that you set. Right now you can see I'm at 1080p at 30 frames per second. You can see that the microphone is turned on, and you can see the battery level there as well. You can quickly access the settings from the touchscreen if you wanted to too. And I'll talk a little bit more about the settings a little bit later, but let's first talk about what else is on the screen. You can see the date as well as the time on there, and you can also see the recording time if you are recording. And once you do press the record, which you can do so by either pressing on the screen, or you can also press the top button on the device, you'll start recording, and you can see a clear red dot start flashing, blinking, whatever you want to call it, and you know that you are currently recording a video. So one quick side note about using the touchscreen as a shutter button, I found that sometimes the touchscreen is overly sensitive, so when I press it, even though I didn't intend it to have a recording, it would have some ghost touches and automatically start recording and then stop recording and start recording, as you can see here. So I would just recommend just using the tactile top button for most recordings, and especially since if you ever use the waterproof housing for underwater shots, you can't even access the touchscreen anyway, so just get in the habit of using the top shutter button. If you were to press the mode button, which again is on the front of the camera again, you are switched to the photo screen. Now you can press the shutter button or again the touch screen to start taking a photo. On this screen is pretty much identical to the video screen, minus some features because obviously you're not going to have a microphone when you take a photo. But again, you can see the battery indicator on there. You can also see the quality of the photo that you're taking. You can also directly access the settings again. And then pressing the mode button one more time takes you to the gallery section. And this is sorted based on when you took the photo or video, but it's actually sorted backwards. So if you were to swipe to the right, for instance, it's actually showing you the previous photo as opposed to the next photo, as you would think. So it's a little bit unintuitive at first, but once you get used to it, you will get used to how the photos and videos are sorted. But again, you probably won't want to really see the videos and photos in detail here because it's such a tiny screen and the details aren't great. But this gallery, just a quick view really on if you wanted to delete the footage right off the camera right then, you can do so by pressing or tapping the touchscreen, and you can choose the trash can button to delete it. And the viewing screens for the video versus photo is slightly different, but on each of them it shows you the quality that it was shot in. For instance, for the video it was shot in full HD quality at 30 frames per second, and then for my photos it was shot at 20 megapixels. So I do appreciate that they at least can show you as much info as possible on this tiny 2-inch screen. Now let's go ahead and talk about the settings. So you can access the settings by pressing this little gear icon from pretty much any screen, and this is the part where you can change the recording quality and also a handful of other features. There are a whole lot of different settings that you can tweak here, but I'll just go over some of the basic ones, or the ones I think you should focus on. For one thing, you can of course change the resolution and the quality of both the pictures and the videos that you take. You can also choose to whether have HDR on for the sharpness factors. You can also have white balance, exposure, basics photography, stuff like that. But you also have things like voice prompts, so you can actually trigger it to turn on using your voice. I haven't really had too much success with that, unfortunately, though. You can also adjust the wideness of the angle, so maybe you don't want a huge wide angle shot, which definitely does kind of distort your videos a little bit, so you can choose how much you want the wide angle to be. You can choose loop recording, you can choose whether or not to have the date stamped onto your footage, and finally you can decide how long you want the screen to be on before it just turns off the save battery. It also has this really weird thing where you have to slide to unlock when it is on kind of a screensaver mode, which I find really strange because first of all you can't even set a passcode anyway, so it's not like you actually locked the camera in the first place. So I think that's kind of unnecessary and just wastes a few seconds just trying to get to your camera. So with all the nitty gritty out of the way, let's talk about the quality of the camera, since that's quite important, especially if you want to get those nice shots. So the quality is just kind of so-so. It's really typical for these kind of budget cameras to have oversaturation, poor dynamic range, and really loss in detail when you have higher frame rates. And there's also no way of having any kind of image stabilization, whether it's optical or it's virtual. But here is just some footage playing. It's not terrible, as you can see. I think it's just nice if you want to capture the kind of fun activity that you have at the moment, just nothing super professional. In terms of battery life, it's pretty average for an action camera. You should expect around maybe 20 minutes shooting in 1080p. Shooting in 4K, definitely a lot less. And it also, not to mention, heats up the camera a lot. So I personally never shoot in 4K, especially for something like this. It's really budget. You can't really expect great quality anyways. So the camera itself, I think, is a little bit above average for the price range, but what also gives it even more value is the accessories that it comes with. Now, not all of these accessories are great value, but shown here on the screen are the ones that I think are really useful. First off is obviously the charging cable. For one thing, it doesn't come with a battery dock, unfortunately, so the only way to really charge up your battery is via charging through the camera. It does come with an extra battery at least though, and of course I use the waterproof housing the most because I do a lot of swimming. You can see I use it a lot for my swimming footages. And another really useful accessory it comes with is this remote. It has a separate button for both the photo and the video, and it's already paired to the device, so you need to worry about downloading something to make it sync up with your camera. And it also has a few useful clips and mounting brackets as well. So guys, I do apologize for the length of this video, but I wanted to give you guys a full in-depth review so you guys can make a good purchasing decision based on your needs. But from my perspective, I think for $100 it definitely is a good value. You get a lot of bang for your buck in the wealth of features that it offers. No, not every feature is great. Video and photo quality, I'd say, is just about average for this price range, but it does come with at least that remote and an extra battery. I think it does justify the price, and especially when the GoPro is 2, 3, 4 times more expensive than this and it comes with less accessories, I think you should really be happy with this purchase. I can recommend this to anyone who just wants a nice little action camera to capture really nice experiences, and as long as you don't expect your career to depend on it, and it's not for professionals, but you should still have a good value out of this camera. Thank you for watching this video. If you found it helpful, please give it a like, it'd be greatly appreciated, and make sure to subscribe to my channel SkyFirst95 if you haven't already to get more content like this. Or if you're watching this on Amazon, head over to my channel URL right here, or just search it up on YouTube SkyFirst95. There you'll see a bunch of my product reviews and unboxings. Feel free to browse, or if you want to search for something specific, just hit that search field. That'll do it for this video. This is SkyFirst95. Thanks for watching.